Let's go to Rose in my hometown, Nashville, Tennessee. What's up, Rose?
Hi, Dr. John. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for calling. What's in the world is going on? How can I help?
I am a fairly new listener, and I'm hoping to get your advice.
Welcome to our gang.
Thanks.
You almost doubled our listenership. That's so good. It's incredible.
Yeah, me and a few others.
So what's up?
I am 30 years old. I am in an amazing relationship. I have a boyfriend of nearly 2 years. We're very, very happy. Last year, I was the victim of a kidnapping, robbery, and sexual assault.
Oh, my.
And
I'm so sorry, Rose.
Thank you.
Is that here in town?
It was out of town, so
Okay.
we moved afterwards and tried to make Nashville a new home.
Yeah.
So it's been a journey, and I am very fortunate and grateful to have found an amazing counselor that has started helping me on my healing journey.
Excellent.
And I was wondering how I can encourage my boyfriend to seek counseling to help him process this trauma for himself.
Yeah, that's hard. First off, if you're comfortable talking about it, what kind of paint me in context? What happened?
Sure. So I was a rideshare driver, and I picked up a passenger, and that passenger was really volatile. I didn't know, and held me at gunpoint, and just for, throughout the evening, just forced me into situations I was very traumatizing, very uncomfortable with.
Yeah.
And thankfully, I consider it a miracle. I survived. I didn't have a scratch on me. I wasn't shot. I wasn't beaten. I wasn't physically harmed in any way other than the sexual assault, which was, a big deal as well.
Okay,
but,
good. I'm glad to hear you say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel very, very fortunate to be in a situation that I'm in, and I have a great family that has been, helpful, and I've found a counselor that's been fantastic for me. And so I feel like things are starting to move in a very positive direction, and I've been able to start that healing journey. And,
excellent. So what's your boyfriend going through?
Yeah, I think he knows, the gist of what happened. I haven't been able to share in detail the story, and he's kind of asked that I don't share that with him until he feels ready. And I want to be respectful of that. But also know that, this was a very big, it was a very big situation for both of us.
Yeah.
And he was the first person I called, and he was there on the scene with me as the police were coming. And so he was very involved. His family was very involved with everything. Obviously, everyone went to the hospital with me, and just felt so loved and supported. And I'm so grateful for that. But also understanding that this was such a big impact to our relationship, and knowing that that there's pain in the trauma. So
is he showing signs of depression, anxiety, frustration, anger? I mean, is he demonstrating things, or are you just proactively reaching out on his behalf?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So he does have depression. He's been clinically diagnosed with depression, and he's kind of just asked that I take it slow in terms of sharing this experience and the details of what happened. And so whenever it kind of comes up in conversation, he gets really depressed and kind of shuts down. And I can tell that there's hurt there. And he hasn't, we briefly talked about him pursuing, accounts, like seeking a counselor and seeking some advice. And he's just like, yeah, I'll get to it when I get to it. And knowing that, in my experience with trauma, the longer you let it sit, the bigger it grows. Yeah. And so just wondered how I can, lovingly encourage him to seek help.
Yeah, man, he's lucky to have you. And I'll say on behalf of a guy who's got a wife and a mother and a sister and a daughter, and who's just one of your neighbors, I'm so sorry that you know this, but I need to say it. That should never happen. And you're a brave, courageous person to go get the help you need. And and I'm proud of you, and I'm glad you're one of my neighbors now. I'm
Thank you.
I'm glad you're with us. So I'm going to paint some broad generalities here, okay? And if he's got existing diagnostics, I can't get into those, right? I'd have to talk to him. But broadly speaking, I've seen this play out multiple times. One of the most common things, and I'll take it out of this area completely and put it in a different context, but it will, the same general idea will apply. I've seen parents whose kid gets hurt somewhere, like in a sporting event or in a car wreck or something. And the parents are haunted by, I should have stopped this. I should have been there. That's my job. I got one job on the planet, is to keep my kids safe. And I wasn't there for whatever reason. And 99.9% of the time, there would have been no reason to be there. It would have been insane for you to be there. But that's where our heads go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so using that example and swinging it back, if he's like most boyfriends, rightly or wrongly, there's this overly, I've got, my duty is to protect and like that kind of stuff, right? Even though you could possibly beat him up in a fist fight. It's not about strength and muscles. It's more about role and disposition. And I should have been there. I should have kept her safe. I can't even, right? And there's these moments, these traumas, these tragedies that happen that make us feel so small and really throw the curtains back. Like, it's like just ripping the covers off the bed. We don't have control of much of anything. We're flying blind in this deal, right? The woman I love can be doing something as benign as taking somebody from IHOP over to a concert hall. And then this bad thing can happen doing that. You know what I mean? It makes us feel small and powerless. And some of us, when we feel small and powerless, we try to grab power everywhere we can, right? I'm going to join a CrossFit gym and crush it and kill it and listen to Pantera and Slayer, and this will never happen again. And then often the other happens. I just fold up and I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to hear it. I can't hear it. My body overreacts to the point it swamps my system. I can't do anything. So here's the powerless truth on your part is this: you can't make him do anything. And that's
right.
For a woman who lost control, who is going to try to, I want you to watch this in yourself. You're going to have a tendency to grab control where you can have it because somebody stole it from you. Okay? And am I onto something with you?
Totally.
Okay.
Definitely.
Like, calendar, you be on time, you'll find yourself doing that. And part of your trauma healing will be being able to, remember what happened, talk about it without your body re-experiencing it. That's the big one. But also you'll be able to contextualize it. A bad thing happened to me for little to no reason. And yet I'm going to go about my day and learn how to be graceful and learn how to roll my eyes, learn how to laugh again, learn how to sleep again, right? To teach my body that it doesn't have to be on 24/7. That thing happened, and statistically speaking, it's never going to happen again, but it did. And you hear what I'm saying? Right. So that's part of the journey. You can't make him do that. And so here's what what I would suggest is one or two gifts you have. You're seeing somebody right now for mental health care. I would invite him. I would let him know, I really would like you to come to this with me. You don't have to say anything. You are a part of my life. I want you to be a part of my future. And so I want you to be a part of my healing. Not make this about him, but this is about you because you're the only one that you can deal with. You're the only one that you can control. So invite him to this. And I would let your therapist know, I want him to come. I need to tell him this story as part of my healing. I need him to be a part of this with me. And he's unable to hear it right now. And so I want him to be a part of this process. And what you'll hear is y'all will have to negotiate back and forth for a season. As part of my healing, I need you to tell you so you'll fully know me. And he's going to say a part of my healing is I need you to be quiet. And y'all are going to have to navigate, negotiate that together as you move forward. Having a counselor do that with you is really helpful. Not every relationship needs that. This one sounds like it does. Okay. And that's a good thing for you guys because what you're doing is you're learning a new language on how to have hard conversations with each other, how to be graceful with each other. And then both of you need to have that courage that you have right now. He needs to be courageous. And also you need to respect his boundaries. And there goes the circle, right? What you don't want to have happen, which I see happen all the time in this situation, is you guys start comparing trauma and you start comparing grief. He's going to have something happen. He's going to get COVID. He's going to lose a part-time job. He's going to have something, and he's going to get down about it. And you're going to think, oh, yeah, you want to know what bad is? Right? And your body's going to turn him into the bad guy. Or you're going to start comparing grief. You're going to start thinking things like, good God, I'm the one this happened to, and even I'm moving on. And he's going to be stuck in it. And he's going to be saying, I think you're psychotic. I think you're a robot. I think you've got problems if you're already working on your healing, right? So you're going to start comparing grief. You'll have to be really intentional about not doing that. Owning each other's grief and owning the fact that y'all are going to heal differently. And here's the kicker. Y'all both got to get up and make your bed. You both got to get up and go to work. You both got to get up and do things that are going to keep y'all well. Does that make sense? You both got to go back to church. You both got to do those things that are going to keep you well and healthy. And so I think that can start with him coming to therapy with you, not coming back, but going to it. And here's one other thing. You've heard me say this a million times, and I'll say it a million times more. I would love for y'all you can't have these conversations sometimes with someone who's struggling with depression. The conversation overwhelms the systems, but writing it doesn't. And if y'all kept a letters journal to each other that y'all share, I'm going to write what I'm feeling right now. I'm going to hand it to you. You can read it on your own time, in your own place, when you feel safe, and you owe me something back. Even if it's, I can't even right now, or this is so hard for me to even read, it overwhelms me, I'm not going to write anything back today. That's fine. Then we're still communicating. And slowly but surely, you might not be able to speak it in the same room with you and see you and remember back to the flashing lights and you in the hospital, but I can write it. And we're going to slowly communicate back and forth that way. And this journal, maybe 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now, it'll be something your grandkids read, and it'll be worth its weight in gold. Does that sound like something y'all can do?
Yeah, that definitely sounds reasonable for us.
I think that's fantastic. And I think those two things will get y'all down the road. There may come a moment where you say, I can't move forward with us. And this happened with somebody close to me. I can't move forward unless we sit down and have this hard conversation. You tell me when, but it has to happen. It has to happen soon. Or I'm taking that as you choosing to not be in relationship with me. And if he can't hear about it, and you tell him this is a part of being in relationship with me is processing this trauma together, then he has to go get the help he needs so that he can have that conversation with you. Or by not getting help, he's choosing out of the relationship. And that's going to be hard for everybody. Okay, let's start with the first two first, with the journal and with inviting him to therapy with you, to your counseling, for your challenges, for your healing, not for his, for yours, and see if he'll be a part of that.